When a fire breaks out between two houses, the heat never stays contained. Right now, the Middle East is feeling that heat. What began as a standoff between Iran and the United States is no longer just a two-country crisis. Israel, Russia, global markets, and world security are now deeply entangled. And amid rising fears of war, a dramatic diplomatic move has changed the equation. Breaking at this hour, Russian President Vladimir Putin has stepped directly into the Iran-US crisis, making back-to-back phone calls that could redefine the future of the Middle East. First, Putin spoke to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Then, he immediately called the president of Iran. These were not routine diplomatic courtesies, they were strategic interventions and possibly a last-minute attempt to stop a war. Tensions between Washington and Tehran have reached a boiling point. On one side, President Donald Trump's hardline warnings and military signals. On the other, Iran's open threats and defiance. Caught in the middle is Israel, which sees Iran as an existential threat. Reports suggest that U.S. military action against Iran could happen at any moment. That fear alone has pushed the world into alert mode. So why did Putin call Netanyahu first? According to the Kremlin, Putin held an in-depth discussion with Israel's prime minister on the Iran crisis, regional security, and, most importantly, the urgent need to avoid military confrontation. Putin reportedly stressed that any war in the Middle East would spiral far beyond the region, damaging global security and the world economy. This was Russia signaling something big. After speaking to Netanyahu, Putin directly dialed Tehran. The conversation with Iran's president focused on internal unrest in Iran, escalating tensions with the United States, and the growing risk of war. While Russia and Iran have spoken many times before, experts say this timing is critical. Analysts believe Putin's sequence of calls was deliberate. First Israel, then Iran. A clear message. Russia wants to act as a bridge between sworn enemies. Moscow has now openly declared its willingness to mediate between Iran and Israel, and indirectly, the United States. Putin's position is blunt. War is not an option, dialogue is. And this crisis isn't confined to the Middle East. India is already feeling the impact. Indian nationals stranded in Iran are being evacuated. With oil supplies, trade routes, and regional stability at stake, New Delhi is on high alert. Russia is now presenting itself as the one global power capable of stopping the fire before it spreads. So the question is unavoidable. Can Putin's diplomatic gamble prevent a US-Iran war? Will Washington take this mediation seriously? Will Israel and Iran show restraint? Or is the world standing on the edge of yet another major conflict? History tells us one thing clearly. When dialogue collapses between great powers, war follows. But this time, at the very last moment, Russia has reopened the door to talks. Whether that door leads to peace or slams shut into conflict, the world is watching. What do you think? Can diplomacy still win, or is war inevitable? Let us know in the comments.